Okay, hello everyone. We are going to start Recolator's story, Ruinas Gloriosas, y Directrices de Metáforas. It's so horrible. I don't understand any of it, to be honest. I don't understand what I'm saying. But yeah. I was gonna play Zenless yesterday, but my dad was like, okay, we're gonna go at 7 a.m. And I'm like, oh god, that's so early. That's too early. So, yeah. I just finished lunch, so my throat is a bit like, I guess, not warm up yet. Yes. Ruinas Gloriosas y Directrices de Metáforas. Symbols, metaphors, and literary labyrinth. She wanders through, the adventure never ends. Okay, I kind of forget. Okay.
I have all the essentials for writing poetry. You, me, and our opponent.
Oh, they actually made you... Where's my pen? They actually gave you Melania. I think... Euphoria Melania.
The show's on. How plan A.
What should have been buffed first?
The show's on, Hounds. En todos los momentos. Plan B. Más allá del concepto mundano del
Plan
tiempo.
A.
Time waits for no one, even for a great feat.
Yeah, I'll probably stream Zenless like in the night,
En la
like
acumulación de laberintos.
the ungodly hour.
Suéltalo todo una vez más. Huh. A truly villainous moment.
Because yesterday's Twitch stream was like broken up in so many parts. I don't know what happened. Because usually I'm using Prism, right? And usually Prism just condense it in one stream, even though I'm like having internet issues, right? Usually it's just one stream. But now they updated the things, I think.
I'm losing my
So it's like
patience.
broken up in parts, and I'm like, I don't like that. I'm gonna
Little
try
man of my work, I take it.
restream, and we'll see whether there's any difference or
El
not.
camino a Tlón. Más allá del
Wear gloves.
Brave decision.
En la acumulación de laberintos. Suéltalo todo una vez más. Cosmología, filosofía
I
clásica.
kind of don't like it because my chat is like blocked everywhere. I don't know where to put it.
I've gone careless.
I'm losing my patience. Freaking dumbass. Sterilized.
En todos los momentos, más allá del concepto mundano del tiempo. En todo,
Wear gloves.
You know what, it's
más
fine.
allá,
At your command.
idealismo, vuelos de fantasía, patrones ocultos.
Hi.
Do I have to do this?
Hold on to that.
The pen fell.
Good for you.
I'm losing my patience.
But yeah, yesterday Betty's anecdote was so sad. It was so sad.
That hurt.
Oh yeah, it's actually
En
Euphoria
todos los momentos.
Mad as well. Guess you can use
Plan
both.
A brave decision.
En la acumulación de laberintos.
Wait, 3 of these
Suéltalo
characters
todo
have
una vez
Euphoria.
más.
Oh, I forgot the open captions.
Cosmología,
I'm gonna deal with
filosofía
it later.
clásica. El fundamento
Because
del
I'm
mundo.
using a program, and I cannot program about that. It flew over my head, yes.
I'm losing my patience. Rotten toes. I'm losing my patience.
Not a fan of my work, I take it?
All right.
The show's on. Plan B. Plan A.
Give me a hand, friends. I can't do this alone.
Time waits for no one, even for a great feat.
I'm losing my patience. Freaking dumbass.
Oh, I did. What was it called?
Deep breath in.
I'm ready.
The show's on. El camino a Tlon.
Give me a hand, friends. I can't do this
The new
alone.
Limbo, Lucidscape, yes, Lucidscape. I'm having trouble with the last stage. I couldn't 3-star it. The previous stage I used too much OP units. I used Liang, yeah. But Tutu, no, I did not miss Tutu. Wait, I
Time
think
waits
I
for no
did.
one, even for a great feat.
I didn't. I don't remember, but I remember I was using Liang, yeah. 37 and a Tutu. Because
En la acumulación de laberintos.
it says
Suéltalo
you need to
todo
finish
una
it
vez
within
más.
8 rounds, and it was so bad. It was so bad because 8 rounds, three waves
dumbass.
in 8 rounds. How am I supposed to do that without follow-up attacks or impromptu teams? You know, like brother.
Brave decision.
En todos los momentos.
Wait, oh my god. I guess you.
All right. Deep breath.
The show's on. Plan B. Más allá del concepto mundano del tiempo.
Give me a hand, friends. I can't do this alone.
En la acumulación de laberintos. Suéltalo todo una vez más. I haven't had a eureka moment like this in a while. The poem I just wrote is amazing.
But
Huh?
you.
Wait, you weren't listening, were you? Then let's do this again.
You didn't even have a Eureka bar. Okay, let's enter. Oh, it's very pretty. Editor of Genius. Ruinas, Gloriosas, Directrices, and Metáforas. This book is dedicated to Maria. A man hurries through a hallway, a folder tucked in his arm and 2 cups of coffee clutched in his hands. He turns the corner and collides head-on with a contributor. A booklet falls to the ground. Please be a little more careful, sir. It's you, Tommy. Here to beg Miss Hunting to publish your ever-on-notice expressionism literature again, are we?
Goodbye.
I don't have time to argue with you today. I need to show this to Miss Hunting. Thomas picks up the fallen booklet and strides by without a second glance. The Hitchy Publishing House at the end of the 3rd floor corridor, in the office on the left. Thomas, his movements brisk, takes 2 familiar turns before pushing open the glass door.
I'm sorry.
Miss Hunting, I know I'm a few minutes late, but at least the coffee hasn't gone cold. Anyway, before we discuss my publication, you simply have to take a look at this. Movie posters are plastered on the walls between bookshelves, holding countless great literary works. The air is thick with the scent of coffee and ink. Oh. I didn't expect you to have a Sprite. No rush, have a seat, Mr. Thomas, and thank you for the coffee. Actually, you're already 8 minutes late, but that doesn't matter. I look over your latest revisions. I think putting aside 30 minutes for this meeting was a little optimistic.
Which means...
It's good to go. Then we can just... First of all, Mr. Thomas, your work doesn't meet the publishing standard. Ow. And second, you're refusing to cooperate with me. Not only have you kept some lines I marked for deletion, but you've stung in a few extra sentences. Now, let's use the remaining 20 minutes to discuss something unrelated to your manuscript. How about the recently released film, The Ethel River Murder? I believe you could learn a great deal about storytelling from it. Thomas concedes under the editor's relentless barrage. His enthusiasm doused as if by a bucket of cold water. Any argument he prepared is now left unsaid.
I see.
Okay, you really are as strict as ever, Mr. Hunt. Okay, you really are as strict as ever, Miss Hunting.
But...
I can't give up on my work. It's the only way I'll break free from my mind. I have to find a way to get it published. Then I wish you luck. By the way, the director of the murder sent me a few tickets. I think you should take one and go see it.
Look at this.
I want you to take a look at this first. The man gently places the booklet he's been holding under his arm on top of the movie ticket Hunting just placed on the desk. And why should I look at it? I scheduled you last so I wouldn't run overtime, you know.
Listen.
Guess who I came across on my way here? What, you ran into your idol, Franz Kafka? Thomas is well used to jabs such as this.
Here's the case.
There's a messy-haired girl working at a cafe. Whenever she had a free moment, she'd pull out a thick stack of booklets and eagerly hand them out to any customer who seemed interested. But the strange thing was, there was no publisher, no category, no recommendations, not even a price printed on it.
Wow.
I thought it was a hotel flyer, or a travel brochure, or a university club ad, or something, but to my surprise, it was a short story. So, is it any good?
I think that...
It is more special than good.
no matter what,
Please just read it. It won't take you 10 minutes. In less than 10,000 words, it manages to create something magical. Something totally unique. It's like a literally demon leapt out of Pandora's box and tried to mimic human language for the first time. Isn't that creepy though? The elusive metaphors, the layered structure, good grief, I can hardly believe it was written by someone so young. Let me take a look. For a time, there is no sound but the hum of the fan and the faint crackling of burning tobacco. The minutes tick by, and the scratching pencil joins the chorus. At first gently and steadily, and then growing harder and more hasty. At some point, the lead snapped with a crisp crack. Mr. Thomas, I have a request. Can you tell this sleepwalking writer to meet me here before 6? It's quite remarkable. This thing could turn the world upside down. I told you so. I met her outside that cafe on the corner. If you're lucky, she should still be there. The young writer strides in, a box of the cafe's special honey poached quince pie in her hands. Miss Hunting, how exhilarating that you asked for me by name. I knew that handing out my work for free would eventually pay off. Hearing her own name, the editor looks up, surprised. Oh, you know me?
We met in Guadalajara.
I saw you at the booth of the HA Publishing House. Later, a writer friend of mine told me that you're the golden signature of the HA Publishing House, especially skilled at helping authors rise to fame and even getting their works adapted to film. If I'd known that back then, I'm sure we would have talked a little more, and I might even have a few novels published by now. Well, better late than never. Hold on, when did I say I was going to help you publish a novel?
Huh?
Isn't that why I'm here? After all, you said, let's bring in that little genius who could turn the world upside down. Did Thomas put it that way? Good grief, no wonder his writing is so flowery. Then, why am I here exactly? Hunting walks to the window, pushes it open, and lights a cigarette. Recoleta notes how impeccably dressed she is. The noise of the traffic outside makes her voice sound distant. Give up, right? Oh!
I beg your pardon?
Give up writing? She can hardly believe her ears. You're too obsessed with the purity of literature. Your work has no place in the 90s. It's all about films now. Listen, if I could send you back 30 years to a gun-riddled Latin America, I would. At least then you'd have a chance. Hunting sends a puff of smoke out the window and taps her knuckles gently on the desk. She fixes Recoleta with a gaze of a strict teacher. Do you have a clear vision of your work? Any carefully structured or thoroughly polished ideas in your mind? My vision is crystal clear. I want people to talk about visceral realism again, to capture the fleeting and make it eternal, just like the great writers of the 60s. Hunting eyes Recoleta, a complex smile appearing at the corners of her mouth. She stuffs out her cigarette and sits down back at her desk. Let me rephrase that. You want to write good work that readers can understand, right?
That's right, Miss Hunting.
But I think it's difficult to balance that with literary depth. No need to get ahead of yourself. Sit down. I've read your story. Hunting hands over the open booklet. Recoleta's eyes are immediately drawn to the revisions covering its pages. Under their homeland sky, the shadows of the cowhands loom larger than their bodies. This line isn't bad, quite vivid actually.
Oh, yes.
And after that, the cowboy meets a cowhand without shadow, not realizing that the cowhand's shadow is actually his own. When the sun sets, their silhouettes stretch into the great Their silhouettes stretch into great beasts along the mountain ridge, and they wave their whips to drive the non-existent cattle. This part feels redundant. Besides, how would the readers know that the cattle are? Besides, how would the readers know that the cattle are Besides, how would the readers know that the cattle are a metaphor?
Okay.
But planting a seed of doubt here allows for a wonderful moment of realization at the story's climax. Now look here, at this line. These cattle never lower their heads to graze. They'll chase the stars until they drag the cowhand's soul along with them. No one should dream of returning home. The land there will bite and bite at you until you can never leave. Why did you write this?
It's a metaphor too, like the cattle herd.
Ah, so she's a writer that likes metaphor. I'm not questioning the sentence itself, it has style, but where's your theme? This is clearly a story about the protagonist returning to their homeland after many years, exploring magical realism through the unfamiliar. So why, by page 5, am I still only seeing cowhands and cattle? Ah.
I understand what you're saying, but these are important elements of the novel. They'll all come into play later on.
The cowhand looks exactly like the protagonist when he was a child. Actually, he's a phantom of the protagonist's childhood, but the protagonist doesn't recognize him. Alright, I suppose there's some interest there, but how am I supposed to know that? Just skip ahead to here, page 37. Page 37? Look, little genius, it took 37 whole pages just to tell the readers that the cowhand from page 5 is a mirrored symbol. I mean, that is a long page, assuming that it's a novel, right? I wouldn't read that because I'm not a reader, so... perhaps you're right, I really do need to adjust the structure. Literature isn't a place to act out your private dreamscape. Do you think imagination alone will win over your readers? Here's my suggestion. You're still young and you have potential, so why don't you try studying screenwriting? Recoleta looks utterly confused.
I don't understand.
What does screenwriting have to do with literature? Every time I try to watch a film, I end up falling asleep before the end. It's just a suggestion, but I understand. A rather extreme one. I just want you to stop underestimating the importance of storytelling. Their conversation continues beyond the setting of the sun. Even so, the true marathon has only just begun. By the time Recoleta lifts her dizzy head, the clock has already hit 8:15. Oh, it's so late. I'm sorry. Oh, it's so late. Sorry for taking up so much of your time, but what a thrilling literary discussion. Thank you. Hunting rubs the corners of her eyes with her thumb and forefinger, leaning back into her chair, exhausted. Well, she did get her overtime. She has to admit her impression of Recoleta has changed. Don't worry about it. It has been my pleasure to meet a writer as unconventional. It's been my pleasure to meet a writer as unconventional as you. Alright, that's it for today. Go home and think over these 3 questions. First, why does the cowboy return home? Second, why does he meet the bubble-blowing cowhand? Third, why do the characters know things that even their author doesn't?
Does that mean...
Recoleta's fatigue vanishes in an instant. This is true, invaluable advice, not just the back and forth from a few friends. This is the guidance of a professional editor. So if I revise my novel according to your suggestions and come back, does that mean I have a chance at publication? That depends on how well you revise it. I'm not making any guarantees. I just need 2 weeks. No, 1 week. I'll bring you a completely reworked version. If possible, I prefer you make an appointment at the front desk next time you come. At least let me know you'll be here. Because then you'll be ready for the overtime. She holds no higher expectations for the young writer. After all, years of experience have taught her that writers have a tendency to exaggerate. Best of luck. I'm heading home to warm up with a hot drink.
Till next time, Miss Hunting. I'll most certainly be back. Believe you me.
I've never heard of that. Believe you me. Believe you and I, yes, but never believe you and believe you me. Cowboy and Coachman. The setting sun casts a deep orange glow in the office, causing Hunting to squint. She sets down her pencil and leans back exhausted. Every name on the reservation list on the cluttered desk before her has been scratched out, all except one. Sure, alright, last appointment, let's see. It's Recoleta, is it? Recoleta?
Yes, is it my turn?
Long time no see, Miss Hunting. Good afternoon. The office door creaks open, revealing a fluttering patter and half of a pale face. The editor gives a sharp inhale before nearly sliding off her chair in surprise. When did you get here? Never mind, that's not important. You're the last one today. Come in. Recoleta closes the door and confidently places her manuscript on the desk. Don't worry, this time whoever judges the pacing in the opening chapters, no more late exposition. If only I could believe you. Alright, let's get started. An Indian valley breeze brushes over Hunting's very eyelids as Recoleta begins her story.
The cowboy had never once considered going home. That was, until he met the coachman. Like him, the coachman cast no shadow behind him.
He boarded that battered carriage and embarked on a long journey, crossing mountains and rivers until finally they arrived home.
He surveyed that land, familiar yet strangely unfamiliar, and a chill crept up his spine.
Yet that long overdue joy failed to reach him. He came to a stop. He surveyed that land, familiar yet strangely unfamiliar, and a chill crept up his spine. Hunting quickly realizes her eyelids have grown too heavy to lift. The air thickens, distorting as her surroundings dissolve into shadows and vanish into fog. Something's wrong. What's happening? These images, they're moving? Under their homeland sky, the shadows of the cowhands loom larger than their bodies. This is my home, the cowboy spoke, his voice hoarse. But this feels like I've wandered into someone else's dream. The mountain is still the same, the wind is still the same, but the people no longer recognize me. The cowboy gazed into the distance, hopeless. Distant mountains begin to form in Hunting's mind. The coachman sighed. Oh, this. The coachman sighed, pulled the rusted pocket watch from his waist, and swung it before the cowboy. Time turns everything in the shadow, even home. Neither you nor I are any exception. He paused, his gaze shifting to the vast horizon. Where is my home? I don't even have a shadow. The cowboy chuckled and patted the coachman's shoulder reassuringly. Don't lose heart, buddy. Look at this cattle. These cattle never lower their head to graze. They'll chase the stars until they drag the cowhand's soul along with them. No one should dream of returning home. The land there will bite and bite at you until you can never leave. If we follow these cattle, perhaps we can find the shadows we lost. The two secured the carriage at the front of the hill, tightened the reins, and silently followed the cowhand's footprints with heavy and determined step. The mist thickened, and even that long, drawn-out whistle could no longer guide them. The camera pulls back. In the distance, the vague outline of an ancient temple emerged. Wait, there's no need to give filming directions. I was like, it's kind of weird because suddenly there's a camera. Oh, that's different. Templo de la Metáfora. Oh, actually, we saw this in Journey to Morpang, I think. When Hunting opens her eyes again, she and Recoleta are standing in a dense, foggy wilderness. The ground beneath them is dark and damp. What the hell? What the hell place are we in? The fog is getting thicker. The camera pulls back. An ancient temple looms faintly in the distance.
Here we are. The hell place.
Oh, that's... Wait, this is your story? I thought these scenes only existed in your mind. Of course they only exist in my mind. Everything is fiction, but this is the first time I've managed to bring a reader into this side of the world. Incredible, Miss Hunting. You truly are a great editor. Huh? Why do you say that? Meaningless compliments don't exactly explain all this. Emboldened by the spirit of adventure, Recoleta brushes off her editor's concern. Wait, but this is your story we're in, so we can leave whenever we want, can't we? Oh no, Miss Hunting. This story isn't mine at all. It belongs to the cowboy and the coachman. Oh... How screwed are we? Then, where did they go? I think when we entered the story, we took their places. Ah, I see.
Let's not waste any more time. Let
Yes.
the great adventure begin.
Yes, we've become the cowboy and the coachman. Let's not waste any more time. Let the great adventure begin. Recoleta's voice carries an odd, unquestionable pride. Stop joking around, Recoleta. Can we get out now? Get out? Uh-huh. Recoleta laughed so hard that tears started to well in her eyes. Our legendary adventure has only just begun. How could we cut the tale short? How could we let the readers know the ending so soon? Of course, as the author, I can give you a hint. Inside this temple lies the secret core of the entire story. Come on, Miss Hunting, give up. Hunting wants to say something, but somehow she feels an irresistible urge to step forward. Like a growing seed, A familiar yet long-forgotten sensation arises within her. Wait, don't run too fast. She follows Recoleta into the mist. Soon, it becomes a fog so dense that it is difficult to see the path ahead. Something grabs Recoleta's arm, forcing her to stop. The scenery is been repeating. Haven't you noticed? We've passed the same pillar at least 7 or 8 times. I can't see the way through all this fog. Let's just take a breath and take a minute to listen to our inner voices. No, that's too abstract. Here, we need to keep the reader's attention. This giant pillar should be the story's MacGuffin. Hey, I don't read novels, right? So I don't understand what MacGuffin is. I do know its reference a lot, but I just do not understand what does it mean. Does that mean... In short, we need to make this pillar a driving force. Let me think. Yes, you need to rewrite this part. The cowboy and the coachman discover something unusual about the pillar in the repeating temple. By touching its 4 sides in order, east, west, south, north, they finally escape the maze.
Ah, right. Let me see. East. West. South. And north.
Miss Hunting? Hunting jolts awake, a dull headache creeping across her forehead. Was it all just a dream? Did we come back? We never went anywhere. Did you fall asleep? No, forget it. Where were we in the story? The cowboy and the coachman just escaped the maze. They're about to head toward the ending. Alright, back to business. There are still quite a few things that need fixing in the earlier sections. Didn't I mention the MacGuffin earlier? Yes, you told me to cut the whole listening to their inner voices scene, which was actually the cowhand's whistle. Instead, I changed the way they escaped the maze to interacting with stone. I changed the way they escaped the maze to interacting with the stone pillar. But to me, that pillar is just a pillar. It doesn't represent anything. Why does it have to be important? Exactly, it doesn't represent anything. That's the whole point. As Hitchcock once said, in crook stories, it is always the necklace, and in spy stories, it is most always the papers. Take 1947's Casablanca, for example. The transit papers in the film are a classic MacGuffin. They drive all the characters' actions, but their actual details don't matter to the audience. It's purely a narrative catalyst, just like this stone pillar. It doesn't define the story's central theme. I've always thought that the term came from Rudyard Kipling's novels. So this is what it means in film terminology. Interesting. Oh, I should take note. To sum up, the most important information should always be embedded in the most critical lines. Otherwise, readers might skim right over them.
Fantastico! I've already thought up of a few ways to make it even better.
Hunting glances at the night sky out the window. I must slip away. Hold on, little genius. It is getting late. Let's rein in the inspiration for now. But it's Friday. If I don't get your feedback now, I'll have to wait until Monday before I can talk to you again. Which means I'll have 2 whole torturous days of staring at my unfinished ending. She theatrically clutches her chest with one hand, hunting sighs, torn for a moment. After a brief pause, she speaks. Tomorrow night, after 8, I'll have some free time. I usually take some time to myself around then, but I can entertain a guest. Are you inviting me over? Of course, I've got a stack of piping hot revisions just waiting for you to tuck into. It'll be all you can eat buffet. So what you're saying is, honestly, your novel has something special, but getting it published won't be easy. Even if everything goes smoothly, we need at least 6 months to finalize the manuscript. It might not even make next year's book fair. But what I do know is this: I can get your novel into the world if you can finish it on time. Ah yes, reconnecting. Will my stream end, or will it be... Oh, I think it's broken to pieces again, brother. Oh man. Oh, there's nothing here. It's just called stage. Ah. Recoleta must defeat the literary demon. Oh my god. Recoleta must defeat the literary demon within the given round. At the start of each round, unveil 2 random pages. Use the magic of words to boost your chances of winning. Note that its effect may change in subsequent encounters. At the start of the round, Recoleta is able to perceive and unveil all the pages, catching a glimpse before they turn face down. Click 2 matching pages to obtain the completed literary symbol from those pages. Also, it's matchup cards, I think, right? Deal 2 damage. Matching pages in pairs will deal 1 damage to the literary demon. Award the completed literary symbol from the pages and trigger the symbol's effect. And now it's the enemy's turn. Unveil 2 random pages. Will I get to see it? Once all pages are turned over, the side with the matching pairs takes special damage equal to twice the difference in pairs. Ah, I see. Check to see how many pages of each type you have left. Critique pages and analysis pages require 2 matching flips to activate, while draft pages activate with a single flip. Okay. I really like the way they designed the cards. It's very pretty. I can't forget about this. Oh, it's my turn. I think it's this, right? Oh no. Damn it, I lost my thingy. Lost my chan. Templo de la Metáfora. I told you guys that my memory isn't that good. It's a cold winter's night, but inside the air feels warm and inviting. Hunting walks in, carrying an old glass pot filled with deep red liquid. Lemon slices, apples, oranges, cinnamon sticks. Using Malbec for mulled wine is a bit of a waste, but it does have a satisfying richness to it. Oh, that actually sounds quite sophisticated. Maybe I can use that in my writing. Go ahead. I have to say, I do like to indulge it. I do like to indulge in it from time to time. Oh, and sorry for the mess. I hope you don't mind. Not at all. In fact, it looks pretty tidy to me. This place is like a palace compared to the cluttered mess of books, notes, and clothing that fills her own cramped apartment. Sit wherever you like, a couch, a cushion, or chair. You can even take the floor if you want. Something perches on the edge of the bed, setting the glass pot down on the book stacked nightstand. Right, there's something I need to talk to you about. You know why I suggested you learn screenwriting, don't you? To improve my narrative structure, right? Like how Hemingway, Woolf, and Fitzgerald all share the same editor. Maxwell Perkin? No, you're giving me far too much credit, Recoleta. I'm nowhere near that level. At first, I didn't understand why young writers like you were so obsessed with literature. I want you to see for yourself why cinema has conquered the 90s, while literature is slowly losing traction. I want you to hit a wall and see with your own eyes the decline of the literary. world.
How could that be?
The
The
world
world of literature may falter for a time, but it'll never fade away, Miss Hunting.
is like the trees in winter. Yes, they look barren for a moment, but then the spring comes. That's exactly why I write. The writers I admire are explorers, rebels, defiers. They never stop to wonder which way the times were turning.
Now that's a cause with real meaning behind it.
That defiant spirit sustained a generation of writers, and in turn, those writers rebuilt that very spirit. Now that's a cause with real meaning behind it. Alright, I'll admit there's merit in sticking to your guns. But tell me this, do you think you truly understand today's literary world, Recoleta? Even the great Walt Whitman say, even if I myself often think I know little or nothing of my real life, how could we possibly claim to understand the state of literature today?
To me, writing is just as exhilarating as traveling around the world or slipping into a blissful dream.
I've heard that before. Writers love saying things like that. If that's how you see it, then... She recalls Recoleta's reckless determination in the Templo de la Metáfora. Something distant stirs inside her, like she's being wrapped by an old knitted sweater left unworn for years. Never mind, it's nothing. Noticing Recoleta's eager expression, Hunting realizes that it's time to get down to business. Alright, let's get to work before I finish this whole bottle. What happens in the second half of the story? Yes, as titillating as this conversation is, I'd like to get down to getting the ending right. Oh, and I listened to what he said. I studied some books on film and incorporated some more screenplay-style dialogue. Recoleta jumps up from the floor, handing over the freshly marked up pages. Oh, let's see. Last time the protagonists escaped the fog-filled maze using their wit. Now they're heading toward the temple's hidden chamber. The whistling stopped. The cowboy and the coachman made their way toward the light beyond the fog. But as the fog thickened, the sounds around them faded. With every step, the world grew more and more unfamiliar. At last, they found the entrance. Inside, the temple was covered in ancient ruins. Its wall etched with unreadable symbols and paintings. An old man and a cowhand with his cow stood in the distance, as if waiting for them. The wind carried a whisper like an ancient poem through the fog. Hunting tilts her head, listening to the faint whisper carried on the wind like an ancient poem. It is clear they have left behind the warmth and comfort of her home. Miss Hunting, we're back in the story again. So... So they actually write it in like what they are feeling right now. So we are, at least this time I was expecting it. What's with the parenthesis? What's with the parenthesis? Are we directing every emotion into dialogue now? The secret core is obvious. It's perched atop the massive stone platform. How satisfying. The most important The most important information should always be embedded in the most critical lines. Looks like you actually took my advice, Recoleta. Yes, you're so close to the core of the Templo de la Metáfora. I can feel it. Alright, how do we reach it? See those two crows? When they meet strangers, they turn into ghosts. Excuse me? The weary-looking crow becomes an old man. He slumps in the shadows. The fledgling crow becomes a young cowhand, swinging his legs on the stone platform. This is the story described.
Hello.
Travelers, your arrival was foretold. Passing through this fog will be no easy feat. A home isn't a house, it is a memory. A cow will wander when it has lost its pasture, but it will always find its way home.
Oh dear.
It's you, the ones who set everything in motion, finally here. I've waited a full century for this moment to come.
Here is the case.
If you wish to touch the core of the Templo de la Metáfora, you must first solve a riddle.
Bring it on. I love a challenge.
Dear.
I cannot speak the riddle. The cowhand knows it, but even he won't just give it to you directly. It's all part of the metaphor. Please look at him. You have to win him over first. Yes. You have to make me happy first. No, why should I listen to you, old man? The boy claps his hands and lets out another long, drawn-out whistle. Oh. From the shadows, a cow emerges, a deep wisdom behind its eyes.
Hello.
Hello, big sister. This is the riddle. Only my cow can carry you up.
No.
You little rascal. That's not how it's supposed to work. Before the old man can finish, Recoleta nimbly hoists herself onto the cow's back. Then, it's the ground hard. See, it's not that easy. Recoleta wipes the dust from her face as she falls into thought. Alright, I can't take this anymore. Why are you putting parentheses in front of every line? I told you to take inspiration from screenplay narrative structures, not copy their formatting. Fine, I'll fix it. But first, we need to deal with this cow. This cow is clearly tied to the theme of your story, Recoleta. It shouldn't be too hard for you to figure it out.
Let me think.
her eyes land on a battered quill. Cowhand, can you give me a hint?
Of course.
But I'll only answer yes or no. Alright, your cow. Is it a symbol of heavy responsibility? No. The passage of time? No. Is it something more abstract?
Yes.
Is it what I'm doing right now?
Yes.
Recoleta locks eyes with the cowhand, a triumphant smile beaming on her face.
Ah, literature doesn't offer answers. Rather, it serves to raise questions and open up unexplored realms.
It's about exploration, about possibility, about capturing what can't be defined. Yes, I remember it from my chat with Dr. Doris. The riddle itself is the answer, isn't it?
Yes.
You've solved the riddle. Now, let it take you where you need to go. The cowhand's playful grin fades and he gives a nod. The old man waves his hand, and the two of them dissolve into two crow-shaped walk paths. The crow carries them outward, slow and steady. The cow carries them outward, slow and steady. So what's the old man's purpose in this story? It doesn't actually give any new information. I can't really explain it, it's just the way the story goes. You have to speak to the old man before we can talk to the cowhand. Oh, that's a weird writing then. I think this section could use some reworking. Wait, maybe it's not so simple. People spend their lives asking about the future, about who they'll become, only to realize everything they are was already there during childhood. Recoleta, you buried this line far too late into the story. This section is good, but it needs to be clearer. You have to guide the readers to the meaning. As she finishes her sentence, the cow arrives at their destination. Hunting reaches out, her fingers touching the radiant core before her. Light surges through her fingertips, and countless images and words emerge in her mind. So beautiful. How did you write it? It is the sum of countless meanings everything life has to offer. It is sung by someone at the end of their life's journey, yet in truth, it is just a word meaning miracle. The light fades and the two imposter protagonists return to the warm little room. You're back. Hunting flips through the manuscript again, eyes sharp as they meet Recoletas. In the dark light, her callous fingers trace the collar of an old knitted sweater. It is a long forgotten relic from her youth, woven from an impractical love for literature. I can come over whenever I'm free on a Saturday night. You mean, besides our usual review sessions, you'll personally help me revise my novel in your free time? But let's be clear, this isn't going to be easy. It'll take time, and there's no guarantee it will sell well. I can guarantee this, an exclusive publishing deal. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. What an absolutely wondrous outcome from a pilgrimage to the Templo de la Metáfora.
Clearly, this is going to be a long battle. And Hunting's instincts are rarely wrong.
I know, Miss Hunting. But it'll be a glorious one.
In this young writer, she glimpses the lingering embers of a bygone era. It's like 8. Oh my god, that. Oh! 13! Oh, it's gonna be a long one, I guess. I generally thought it was gonna be like 1 or like 2 hours only, but my god, 13 stages? Okay. I mean, it's so worthy, and I'm already running out of water. So, should we take a break? I guess. Let's see. How many? 13. Okay, I'll go up until 6, and then we'll take a break on the 6th stage. Distant quakes. Single malt whiskey, no ice and a splash of water, the perfect spring companion. This is the life, my friend. I'll stick to my usual, mate tea with mint and 2 sugars, please. Hunting sets 2 glasses down on the table. Hold on, are you old enough to drink? Want to try mine? It's a 15-year-old Scotch. You know what? I just realized there's no need to try everything in life. Yes, I should write that into the story. Too bitter for you, eh? Guess you're still a kid at heart. Recoleta's fall philosophical statement has earned her a teasing remark. I'm joking. Even if you wanted some, I wouldn't let you have it. I don't believe any writer needs nicotine or alcohol to fuel their creativity. It's just vices they become reliant on to get through the day. Oh, so you're saying you're not like them? Of course not. Haven't you figured me out by now? If I remember correctly, when we first met, you lit a cigarette. There was an exception. Honestly, you caught me off guard that day, little genius. Why is that? Because that era you're always talking about is already long gone. Around the time that I was born, Latin America literature was at its peak. Every writer passionate about words could feel that strong and long-lasting earthquake. It wasn't just the rise of a single author either. It was a collective awakening. Everything was urgent, irreversible, as if the soul of an entire continent had suddenly become self-aware and started speaking through literature.
Increíble, Miss Hunting. What a masterful way to put it.
Just a few workplace topics, that's all. You capture exactly the way I feel about it. When I look back at the writing of that generation, it's like magma. It's like magma rising from the Earth's core. It pushes through layers of history, violence, and memory, finally breaking the surface, carrying with it ancient steel and blood. Can you imagine how breathtaking, how overwhelming, how intoxicating that is for me? I miss that great earthquake where I can still feel its distant tremors. When I first put pen to paper, the tremors aligned with my very heartbeat.
Surely you understand what I'm saying, right?
Of course I do, Recoleta. That's exactly why I'm pushing you so hard to write something great. Why I refuse to go easy on you. Only a strict coachman can rein in a wild horse. Hunting has come to understand this deeply. She closes her eyes and questions herself in the dark. Forget all the damn professional theories and publishing experience. Hunting, do you think this novel is good enough? It's good. Very good. There's a lot to like about it, but... As summer fades into autumn, the air turns crisp and dry. Hunting strikes the flint, effortlessly lighting a fire. The iron pot above it, bubbles and steam. The scent of simmering broth makes Regulator's stomach rumble. That bubbly is a little noisy. Try not to scare off my prey. Oh hey, that's not my fault. When you said camping, I thought you meant a family trip or a picnic in the park. Not hauling a dozen kilos of gear over 2 mountains to sit in the middle of nowhere. And now we even have to hunt for food. Regulator rubs her sore shoulder as she looks on at hunting in the distance, stalking her target. The hunter's gaze is as sharp as a hawk's. Her movements precise, she crouches low, slipping into the shadows. A single rustling leaf, a flick of an ear, the prey notices too late. The blade strikes, clean, swift, painless. Alright, just needs a little prep before it goes into the pot. It's surprising that you can actually hunt. I thought it was just like your short name or something. Don't just stand there, give me a hand. Under Hunting's guidance, Regulator handles the basic tasks: cleaning, butchering, and blanching. Finally, the meat is added to the pot. Regulator chews on a leaf, staring at the chunks of meat bobbing in the broth. So this is our dinner? I thought the carrot, beetroot, and celery was supposed to be the whole meal. What kind of life have you been living? By the time she tastes the broth, the sun has set and the light has faded from between the trees. Sorry, little rabbit, I'll eat you with gratitude. That line belongs in a dark fairy tale. Oh, and here's another fun fact for your background note. This little guy may be called a Patagonian. Oh my, what the hell is that? This little guy may be called a Patagonian hare, but it's actually a rodent, a close cousin to sewer rat. We're eating rats now? Oh my god. So I'm actually eating. Huh? But actually it's surprisingly good. Her brain and taste buds reach a swift truth. Relax, it's a wild game from the forest. It doesn't get any cleaner than this. Oh. Okay. When hunger strikes, people always find a way to dress it up in a poetic language to justify accepting nature. When hunger strikes, people always find a way to dress it up in poetic language to justify accepting nature's gifts. You're getting sharper, little genius. Two months pass. By now, hunting has... 2 months pass. By now, hunting has taught Regulator to appreciate the beauty of camping. As the night deepens, Regulator deftly sets up a few tripwire traps around the tent, working alongside hunting with practiced ease. Okay, sorry. She has picked up quite a few advanced survival skills. It's late autumn now. Tonight will be the coldest one yet.
Oh, I'm fine. I've dealt with much colder nights than this.
She thinks back to the endless nights in Ushuaia, the kind of cold that never quite left her memory. It's a little early to sleep. Want to talk about something? There's plenty we could talk about besides my novel, but I know we'll end up back there anyway. It's like a maze we'll forever be circling around and around in. Hunting raises an eyebrow. There's no arguing with that. Alright. Actually, I have thought of a few. thought up a new idea for how to publish your book. Oh, let's hear it. I've been turning it over in my head for weeks. Alright, brace yourself. What if I told you your novel would What if I told you your novel would work better as a trilogy with Templo de la Metáfora as the first volume? It doesn't necessarily mean you have to change the ending, but it certainly makes a strong case for it. A trilogy? A new ending?
Dios mío, I'd never considered that.
My protagonists have never even taken a step outside their own story, let alone leap headfirst into a new one. Then give it a try. Your characters already exist vividly in their world. All they need is a way to cross the barrier into a new one. A motorcycle, a carriage, even a limping old mule would do, don't you think? We need to think bigger beyond the bestseller list. This is about shaking the entire literary world. Let them embark on a new adventure, Recoleta, just like the one you told me about, your journey to the end of the world. All you need to do is throw a murder case, give the cowboy a reason to stumble into a mystery, and before you know it, he is a private detective. Recoleta's breath quickens at Hunting's rapid-fire pitch. Wait, Hunting, slow down. I don't even have the first novel's ending figured out yet. Oh, of course, I'm getting overexcited. Take your time, Recoleta. All great writers need time to think, struggle through their own doubt. I think I should at least finish the first novel's ending before I start worrying about the next. That's fair, but it is the harder route. You have to be careful. Your ending needs to be deliberate, precise, because once it's published, there's no going back. And I don't want you to write like you're dancing with shackles on. Hunting oils her knife to keep it from rusting. He goes to say something, but under the dim glow of the camping lantern, it turns to see Recoleta already fast asleep in her sleeping bag. Never mind, you young people sleep like armadillos in winter. Armadillos? In winter? You young people sleep like armadillos in winter. Makes me jealous. Good night, little genius. It really all comes back to the trilogy. If a trilogy is in fact necessary, of course I'm willing to write 2 more novels, but when I actually try to structure them, I realize it's incredibly difficult. Maybe try structuring it like the good, the bad, and the ugly, with a clear climax to the action. I get what you mean, but last month you told me the story shouldn't end after the old man and the cowhand leave. What did you mean by that? Exactly what I said. Your protagonists need to actively bring the story to an end, but not entirely. They already took the temple's core, didn't they? Oh, of course, but you need a hook after that, a reason for them to choose to continue. Picture this, they took that beautiful little artifact and started heading back. Then, one of them felt an inexplicable urge. Hey, why don't we see what's behind there? The other felt uneasy. I'm telling you, we should just leave. No, we have to go back. We have to go see what's back there. The cowboy shrugged off the coachman's script and bolted forward. Then a few moments later, the cowboy turned back, his eyes filled with despair. What did you see? The cowboy said nothing, so the coachman followed him to the back of the stone platform and found a sea of skeletons. Where did all these skeletons come from? I don't want to write a massacre into this story. Hear me out. What if they realize that among all these skeletons, there are only two distinct builds? That of two adult males. Okay. But then this became hunting story instead of regular letters now. Because isn't editor's job is to like write consistently? I don't know.
Wait, hold on a second. I'm not sure I follow.
Their thoughts are like two frayed wires, unable to connect. For the first time, Regalata finds herself struggling to follow Hunting's reasoning. But yeah, like I said, it became Hunting's story then. It's not Recolatas anymore. If there's so much edits to be done, every 2 rounds, matching pairs of pages deal an additional 1 damage. In this fight, the literary demon has gained a dangerous skill effect. Proceed with caution. Let's do an easy one, I guess. Okay, we are going to take a break because I ran out of water. I'm going to go and grab some, so be right back. Okay, let's continue. Charging the windmill. Recoleta leans against the rusted railing of her apartment's rooftop, looking out over the blurred cityscape. Below, sparse street lights flicker and a distant train whistle echoes from afar. I keep revising and revising it, but I still can't find the right way to write the final sentence. It's been a whole week. Will I ever be able to write a proper ending?
No, Recoleta. You can't just falter at the first obstacle.
This is part of the process. If you want to be a published writer, you have to push through. Alright, focus on the revisions. No more overthinking. Let's start with hunting suggestion and see where it leads. The characters need to continue their journey, but I don't understand. The cowboy went home just to search for a place to belong. I want them to get lost, to stumble forward blindly, just like we do in real life. Find meaning not in reaching their destination, but in the search itself. But in the search itself, because that is our reality. How could this happen? I was haunted by the ending of the rise and fall of this. How could this happen? I was haunted by the ending of the rise and fall of sanity for years, and now here I am, haunted by an ending all over again.
Have I not grown at all since then? Have I tried so hard all this time, only to get stuck in silent stagnation all over again?
Can't I grow like so many protagonists with a character arc? The shadow stretches long across the rooftop tiles, then the cool breeze brushes from behind. You mean the protagonists are ghosts trapped in an endless cycle of death and rebirth? Push it further, make it something more concrete, easier to grasp. They suffered through countless loops, died over and over again, and only now in this cycle have they finally uncovered the truth. Good, but that's just the foundation. We should layer in some literary elements. Recoleta blinks as she attempts to keep up with Hunting's train of thought. The two crows have stood watch for a century. They have their own purpose. They shouldn't just be a plot device. They can be symbolic if they represent the enslaved souls of the protagonists from the previous cycle. Wait, no, that idea needs refining. Souls are overused in fiction. We need something fresher. Recoleta, any thoughts? She thinks hard, but nothing comes to her. Recoleta feels her words get stuck in her throat. If it's your suggestion, then do I have to change it this way? It's getting late. Let's leave it at that for today. Hunting notices something is off. She walks Recoleta onto the door, her breath walking in the cold air. Don't push yourself too hard, Recoleta. Remember, first we're writing a novel, not a screenplay. Second, there's a lot we can learn from this. Cinema's visual storytelling. Third, we need to make sure every reader can follow the story. Always keep those 3 points in mind. I'll finish it, Miss Hunting. I'll figure out the ending. Be careful on your way back home. Stay on the well-lit streets. Got it. See you next week. The pen stretches against paper, leaving behind her its strokes of ink. So the cowboy and the coachman see their remains. Evidence of the endless cycle and their endless deaths, and sink into despair. That's it, right? If that's the case, what does it all mean? Shadows, home, distant echoes, none of them seems to connect. writes it became her hunting story, not record letters anymore. Letting go of past burdens and making peace with oneself. Sure, that worked, but what about the old man and the cowhand? The struggles of old age and the origins of childhood. If reconciliation were that simple, why go all the way back home in the first place? It doesn't add up. Regulator paces back and forth on the rooftop. No, Regulator, you can't think like that. You've already wasted too much time taking to the moon. Don't just think about it. Pick up the damn pen. The restless hands grip the rusted railing, making it groan under the pressure.
Take up your pen, Recoleta.
Remember that fire, that hunger to write. You have to prove you're not weak. Get back to your room, sit at the cursed desk, and write that ending. Hurried footsteps echo down the stairwell. Another long night has begun. As dawn rises, the sky turns pale as the cafe welcomes its first customer.
I'm sorry.
You're not open yet. Oh, Recoleta, haven't seen you in a while. Did you quit? Hey, Gonzalo. As you can see, I'm working on a novel. Recoleta lifts the notebook and thick stack of papers that are tucked beneath her arm. Can I have a black coffee? 2 sugars, no milk, thanks. Of course, I'll stick you a donut too. Just don't tell the boss. Thanks, Gonzalo. By the way, since the place is empty, would you like to take a look at my novel?
Oh dear.
You're gonna hit me with another one of your incomprehensible metaphors, aren't you? No, trust me, this time it's different. I've got an editor now. She's given me some excellent advice. I'm writing a trilogy actually, and I've just finished the first novel.
Sounds great.
Alright, future bestseller. Gonzalo places the coffee and donut on the counter before leaning against the register and opening up the notebook. By the time the sky has fully brightened, his fingers linger on the last page for a long while before finally he finally closes the manuscript.
That's awesome.
So this time it's an adventure about escaping a temple. This isn't like anything you've written before. Why the shift in style? That's not important. Tell me, is it good?
That's surprising.
I've never read anything like it. It's exciting and eerie, that's for sure. It's like watching a psychedelic movie or something.
Great.
Finding a pile of your own corpses, realizing the core is a secret, then becoming a detective wandering the wilderness. It's really great. But don't you think the cowboy and the coachman never truly get the ending they deserve?
Why?
They set out once more to uncover the secret of the ageless.
Here's the case.
Nothing is wrong with the journey of discovery. I mean, Don Quixote is a knight's adventure too, isn't it? And everyone says that's a classic. Don Quixote isn't just a silly man on a bony horse fighting windmills. That story really makes people stop and think. It's something they keep coming back to.
My friend.
You've got your characters staring at a mountain of their own corpses. I'm pretty sure that's enough to get people thinking for a while. You've got a point. Thanks for humoring me and for the donut. Maybe I'm not as unsure as I thought. Unsure? The book's already finished, isn't it? Yes, but I've been stuck on where to take the second novel for weeks now. My mind's so empty it's like a barren desert in there. No way, you're Recoleta, your ideas usually come faster than you can write them down. Ah, wait, I get it. I guess you put it all into this novel, right?
But
I'm not gonna pretend I understand that all that fancy literature talk you're always on about. But if all you worry about is whether something is literature or not, you might forget why you started writing in the first place. Why I started writing?
Why did I start this story in the first place?
Gonzalo's voice fades, blending into the clinking cups and hushed conversations of the cafe. Recoleta stares at the manuscript. Is the answer buried somewhere between the lines? Since my last visit, how many Saturdays have I missed? It's Saturday again. What time is it? Forget it. It doesn't matter as long as I write something good. But they actually changed the books. Is that quite interesting? She turns over, burying her face in the couch cushion. Something good. What have I even written this past few weeks?
Look at this mess. Endless, meandering descriptions. Broken dialogues, characters wandering around without purpose. It's a complete joke.
Because you don't want to write it anymore. It became Hunting's story. And you kind of need to rewrite everything. You kind of lost your motivation, I guess. Just go ask Miss Hunting Recoleta. Didn't you say she was your Maxwell Perkins? She'll have some nuggets of wisdom for you. Maybe tonight I can finally pin down the outline for chapter 2. I wonder if Miss Hunting has any more concrete suggestions. Yes, maybe. Just maybe. We can solve everything tonight. First, let me calm my mind before heading out.
Maybe I just need a little siesta.
Don't oversleep. As she drifts off, fragments of chaotic dreams claw at her mind. By the time everything settles into silence, the room has been nearly entirely swallowed by darkness. It's such a long chapter though, brother. Gain one additional flip chance. Oh, that's so fast, oh brother. Uh-oh. I forgot where's the blue one. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. can't see that because it's reconnecting. Oh my god. Is it this? Damn, it's the wrong one. Complete one round of damage intensification for the opponent in the next round. Damage intensification, direct damage taken is doubled. I don't think I have any more damage cards though. Okay, 50-50 chance! Please. At the start of the next round, deal 3 damage. I don't have the next round. What should I do? Laberinto de symbols. I guess it's symbols of what? Labyrinth of symbols? I guess. I fell asleep. Wait, what time is it? I have to go see Miss Hunting. In the forest, the trees sway in perfect rhythm. Their movements are so eerily human that they almost feel choreographed.
I know this dance. It's a tango.
She has once seen this fiery dance before. Whoever's behind those trees, come out. I know you're watching me. At last, you have returned, Recollector. We have waited a century to see you once more. Oh, that's... Oh. They waited a century? Who are you? Why are you hiding the shadows? Step forward so I can see your face. Otherwise, don't blame me if I'm a little hurt. There's no face to see, child. I am but a shadow, a reflection cast from the depths of your mind. It's that, isn't it? Her novel. The cowboy and the cow's hand. The very clouded voice becomes clearer. A reflection of my mind? You mean I'm dreaming? Nah. What? I think it's the side cube, isn't it? Yes, this is your inner world, an intricate labyrinth of symbols built by your very self. Labyrinth of symbols? That's a nice name, kind of like the Templo de la Metáfora, the same kind of thing. Thanks, stranger. I think I just found the name for chapter 2. But wait, you're saying these swaying, ghostly trees are all part of a greater symbol? Sharp as ever, each tree here represents a symbol you once carefully cultivated. What's wrong with them? Don't tell me they are actually dancing. Not long ago, this labyrinth fell into disorder. Now every tree is caught in this restless, unsteady sway. This is the source of your insomnia. You waited here just to tell me this? I am here to guard over the farthest reaches of the north. This place is so cold and indifferent that it numbs all who enter. And you have to touch the boundary I watch over. I'm too tired. I must leave. Goodbye, Recoleta, and heed my final advice. Do not believe a word it says. Advice? Who is it? The tortoise walks into the flame.
I understand you all too well.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's too fast for me to read.
I also threw myself into the fire without a moment's hesitation.
Recoleta speaks to herself, sadness creeping over her. She never got the chance to say goodbye, but now she has to move forward, or she'll be trapped in this labyrinth forever. Whoever's hiding behind those rocks, come out. The tortoise of the north has already told me the truth. Now tell me, what do you represent? Oh yes, it is the Psycube. And it's the materials as well, brother. Are you finally arrived, child? For an entire century, this has remained untouched. What is it you have faced out there? The old voice is steady, rich with quiet power. That has nothing to do with you. Oh my dear, it has everything to do with me, with us. You write and rewrite your rewrites, but it's never quite right, is it? You've descended into an endless cycle of revisions. Remember this, child. The words you cut away never truly disappear. They become a part of you, flowing through your hand and onto the pages of your next work. Great stories are born from relentless revision. That is the fate of a writer. The readers will never see the parts I erase. They only exist in my mind. Torture me alone.
What's the point of it all?
But that doesn't diminish the value of every phrase, every word, every syllable, whether or not they serve the plot. Then tell me, why must they be erased? Isn't it because I put too much into the individual sentences and don't consider their connection to the story? That is of no matter, child. What matters is, you are afraid you are the one who killed the cattle, are you not? But you simply set them free. Do you remember now? In the world you created, the cowhand has no need to herd, and the cattle have no need to graze. You provided them the freedom to chase the stars. Even if my cowboy becomes a detective, even if he's doomed to walk a tragic path, is that something I have to accept? Of course, the right is to leave the traces of life in the hearts of the readers. A tale of beauty, joy, and miracles must also carry the scars of trauma and conflict. For a writer not to suffer the same scars as their readers would be unjust. For a writer? Still don't understand. Let me reread that. Why would it be unjust though? I don't understand. No, I don't believe you.
Do you really think that will make me feel better?
I've told myself the same thing 1,000 times before, and in the end, it never meant anything. The old voice hesitates. There's a tinge of resignation behind it. Well, words have no power. Only if ever you are to reach the southern forest, do not believe a single word it says. Remember that, child. Oh my god. What's got you so worn down today? What's got you so worn down, Ray? A bright, playful girl's voice fits through the dim forest light, as light-hearted as a fairy from a storybook. Is that you very pretty? Oh, are you? Look around you, Ray. Isn't this forest so beautiful? We spent so many dreamy summers in this little garden of Eden. but it's been so long since you've come to see me. The girl's voice falters, tinged with unmistakable sadness.
We were friends? Oh my, that's right. How could I have forgotten you?
A distant sense of nostalgia surges through her, a memory of a childhood companion she once knew so well. Yes, how could you have forgotten her? What are you doing here? Don't tell me you've forgotten, Ray. We used to sit under the trees together in summer and watch the clouds roll over the hills in the distance. You wrote a poem about it, remember? The clouds are cotton candy and I will swallow them whole. You gave it to me. I wrote something that childish, that's kind of cute. Oh, how I miss you, Recoleta, my best friend, my little panda cub, my green-eyed knight. The sheer sincerity in her voice sends a tremor through Recoleta.
It's been so long. I've missed you so much.
Come out from behind the fireflies, my friend. Let me see you. You've grown up, haven't you? Just like I have. You've been lost in your work for so long. I feel sad for you, but I can't help you. You've forgotten so much, Ray. So many things that were pure and beautiful. You had such a perceptive and sensitive soul. The poems you wrote for me were so delicate and eternal. Has the world of reality weighed so heavily on you? If you are tired, then let's play in the forest for a while, shall we? Just until you're ready to leave. Will you stay with me, best friend?
Yes, I'd love to. Reality?
A jarring sensation clears Recoleta's mind. She shakes her head, her green eyes flashing with a sudden sharpness. Just like a child waking from a long dream, realizing her dear imaginary friend never truly existed. Stop playing games, liar. I've already met 2 of your companions. Tell me, what are you the symbol of? Oh no, I'm not a liar. How could you say that, Ray? You're breaking my heart. You don't even remember the first time you picked up a pen, do you? All these years of waiting, only to be met by a cold-blooded executioner. If you're truly this cruel, this heartless, then I won't stay here any longer. Goodbye. That... So fast, I cannot read.
Goodbye then.
I can't read that fast. Recoleta shakes her head as she tries to block out the sorrowful girl's voice. She clenches her teeth. It's just a symbol. I never had a friend like that. I won't believe a word. I have to find a way out. I have to escape. Through the pain and confusion, Recoleta stumbles forward, the crunch of fallen leaves and snapping of branches echoing beneath her step. But under the siege of exhaustion, she collapses as she lies on the damp earth, her head throbbing. She closes her eyes. When she raises her head again, a pitch-black cave stands before her. From the depths of the darkness comes a voice, warped, deranged, neither male nor female. Slighted? Oh. At last we meet, our most magnificent writer. Welcome to the Southern Forest. My 3 dear friends, I hear, have spoken quite a bit of ill about me. No, I won't listen to you. All of you are liars. This is a paradox, a chaotic Pandora's box. If the others lied, then surely I am the one to tell the truth. Who is it who truly deceives you? You're the last one, aren't you? What exactly do you represent? I am the black hole in your heart, that shadowy place where all your desires fester. Anxiety is a poison, it seeps into your words, warping their taste. Why do you have to speak like that? It's unbearable. I can smell it, the stench of doubt lays in your hurried breath. You are a proud, self-absorbed, grandiose writer. Listen to yourself. Go back to where you belong. Damn it, I don't have time for this. I have to go back. I think you can, right? Because the direction is the right one. Like east, west, south. No, it's the wrong one. Because the last was supposed to be north. Right? Recoleta pushes herself up, pain in her head gone, her body brimming with energy. Then she freezes in confusion. For someone like you, growth may very well be a crime. You should have been nothing but a beast of literature, untamed, unyielding. I have to go back, but to where? What am I going back for? Again? You will never escape from that sorrowful, secretive, ceaselessly murmuring scene. Literature is not merely a refuge of kindness and warmth, it is also a sanctuary for resentment and spite. Why do I have to go back?
I belong to the fictional world.
Brother, after all that final chapter abuse, like tearing off your own novel, you are going to go back? No, right?
I am fiction.
Our mission is complete. This symbolic labyrinth is now entirely in your hands. Farewell. It's so fast. So fast I genuinely cannot read. The labyrinth falls into an irreversible collapse. Recoleta's eyes are vacant. A writer must have relentless desire. A writer must have enduring resilience. A writer must have an innate perception. A writer must have unshakable arrogance. Huh? What? Able of the failure. I'm thinking we've been talking for nearly an hour now. I need a conclusion. So far this year, the HA Publishing House hasn't had a single book break into the top 3 bestsellers. That's an undeniable fact. Of course, director, I've been in close contact with several authors and have already prepared multiple commercial plans. Their new drafts will be submitted soon. I've heard these words far too many times, Hunting. The market's changing so fast and the reader's tastes are unpredictable. I think we need to explore new directions. I firmly believe that literature is our way forward, director.
Here's the case.
Literature was indeed once our major selling point, but now slogans like the vanguard of literature. Oh my. It's so hard. But now, slogans like the vanguard of the literary revival and the new generation's Pedro Paramo have been overused.
Listen.
I need to give the investors a clear conclusion before the acquisition at the end of the year. I understand, Director.
Long time no see, Miss Hunting. How have you been?
Recoleta, where have you been? I asked after you at the cafe, but no one knew your address. They said that they've barely seen you since you quit. Ah yes, I'm sorry for missing so many appointments, but please believe me, I had to take the time to reconstruct the symbolic forest labyrinth. Forest? What forest? More importantly, have you finished your outline of chapter 2? Let me remind you that this month. No, there's no need for an outline. The symbolic forest is the name of the chapter. The symbolic forest is the name of chapter 2. I've already completed it. She pulls a thick manuscript from under her cloak. Fortunately, it is mostly untouched by the rain. A relieved smile comes across Hunting's face. This is probably the best news I've had all month. You're almost writing like a professional author now, Recoleta. Alright, then let me take a look. How did our cowboy and coachman travel from the temple to a forest? Hunting flips the first page of the manuscript. Silence hushes over them. The soft scratch of a pencil, the rustle of pages, the gentle patter of rain. A sharp snap as the pencil lid breaks, a long, deliberate inhale, a look of utter disappointment. Is this what you're submitting? I wrote it with all my heart. Recoleta, do you know what this is? Hunting stands up, gathers the manuscript neatly together and pushes it toward Recoleta. A scorched, lifeless forest, desolate, empty. There's nothing here. You've let me down, Recoleta. Freedom of expression does not equal reckless indulgence. You've repeated every mistake I pointed out in your last manuscript. Your roar is totally unwelcoming. Sizzle, 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 the burn ends of the burn and wire spark. Hunting's voice grows distant as countless flashing fragments emerge. Flashes of light at firmly rejecting letters. Flashes of faces filled with prejudice and indifference. Flashes of scenes repeated over and over again, while everyone wounding her heart a little more.
Why should I seek their approval?
I've never truly been accepted by those who view literature with prejudice and misunderstanding. Enough. That's your problem to deal with. It's not my place to get involved. But I can't help you publish this kind of literature. It's totally self-indulgent. Of course, you're free to ignore my advice. You are the writer after all. I'm just an editor. Recoleta feels dizzy, an unnamed sense of conflict taking over her. Outside, the sky is covered in dense, impenetrable clouds, and the torrential rain is about to engulf the city. Without a word, she grabs her manuscript, stands up, and runs out of the office. As Recoleta runs through the rain, it gradually extinguishes the flames of defiance burning within her. As rationality returns, questions begin to claw at her. Following the flow of instinct, avoiding self-examination, that's my current state of writing. Well, of course I know this isn't exactly professional writing, but Recoleta wipes the rain from her forehead with her sleeve. She leans against the wall and buries her head tightly in her arms. The cool air is quickly replaced by a scorching heat. The raindrops becoming sweat, clothes drying instantly. She and her words return to their original state, like a blank page untouched by ink. All the structures drawn under guidance, all the carefully added embellishments, now crumbled to dust. This desert, it looks familiar. Wait, isn't this the desert by the town of Amalfitano? Tore this place apart. Can't possibly be back here, back to this wasteland.
Who told you this place was a wasteland? To my mind, it is 10 times more remarkable than anywhere else in the world.
Oh my god, we really are the cowboy and the cowhand. A shadow suddenly blocks the sun. Recoleta looks up.
Who are you? Are you... me?
No, that's not right. What are you the symbol of?
I'm not a symbol at all. I'm the gaucho rider of 1975, the legendary cowgirl of Sonora, Recoleta.
You're Recoleta? Then who am I? We exist in thousands of forms across endless pages. The faces we present to the readers are limitless.
After that, you chose to return to reality, didn't you? But I chose to stay here, in the realm of fiction.
He tore up the rise and fall of sanity. What are you doing here?
I don't have time to sit around and chat. My comrades need rescuing. I must rally our people, unite our strength to turn these ruins into a library.
Because the library is the greatest metaphor of mankind.
Will you stand with me and help write the next chapter of our cause? You really are me. I can't think of anyone else who would speak such nonsense.
So she knew she also speaks nonsense. Oh my god.
Come on, Recoleta, get moving.
Cross the silent desert, follow the Gnostic River to its source, and find a way through the cave-dweller settlements. In 9 or 10 nights, the Ruinas Gloriosas will appear. And there, an important comrade awaits our rescue. Alright, but how can you prove we'll find this so-called ruin? The gaucho rider pulls out a rusty badge.
See this? It's my badge of honor.
There was no grand ceremony when it was awarded to me. In fact, there was no official honor from it. But still, it is an irreplaceable symbol, the undeniable proof that we will find the Ruinas Gloriosas. It's beautiful. How did you get it?
What happened to you? You really aren't anything like me anymore. Listen to your heart. There's something missing, isn't there? Blessed me, my beating heart does drum. The fervent words of visceral realism, within my chest they thump.
Isn't that a poem you wrote?
Well, you may have forgotten much, but none of that matters now. A new adventure lies before us. And should we fail, let us fail spectacularly.
Let reality be torn apart. Come on, Recoleta, get moving. Recoleta takes her own hand. What a strange feeling, like curling up under a blanket in winter. She returns to that comfortable place. Optimistic, reckless, and anonymous writer chasing the literary explosion era.
Failure doesn't diminish the glory of the journey. At the very least, I'll earn a badge of honor, just like hers. Yes, and my novel will be that badge.
Meaningless act. Meaningless acts. Oh, it's so hard for me to pronounce the S. Spring has come, bringing renewed energy with it. Recoleta, her heartbeat thumping in her ears, steps into the publishing house building. He carries no manuscript, only a letter, one barely large enough to contain a single long poem. Alright, just drop off the letter and it's all over. After taking a deep breath, she slips the envelope into the manuscript submission mailbox and turns toward the exit.
Thank you, Miss Hunting. And I'm sorry.
Whether to thank me or apologize, you should say it in person, Recoleta. Recoleta's hand, reaching toward the door handle, freezes. Following the rustle of an envelope being opened, Hunting's voice echoes from behind. Miss Hunting. Recoleta watches as Hunting slowly approaches. Under the overhead lights, she can barely make out Hunting's face. I'm sorry. Do you remember the first 3 questions you asked me? I think I already know the answers. The build up to this answer is too long enough for the readers to nearly forget the question. He returns home because to him it is home. He meets the cowhand because he happens to be tending cattle. The characters know things the author doesn't because this is the cowboy story. He has lived for many more years than the author had. Of course, these are your characters. Your unique style shapes them, making them one of a kind. I never truly understand the purpose behind every sentence I write. They flow from my pen, word by word, driven by an irresistible instinctive current. And I am a business hunter who looks for profit, a bookseller who has abandoned her instincts. I am a clueless bystander on the riverbank. I can glimpse the vitality of the river, but I cannot question the purpose of each ripple. If I already grasp its vitality, why should I question the purpose of each ripple? Miss Hunting, you've taught me so much, but I will never become the kind of writer you envision. In you, I see an old sweater I once knitted, a glorious illusion. Only now do I fully understand myself. My writing exists to follow a great era, to recreate a great adventure. I used to fantasize that the distant tremors would once again shake my heart through your wood. My writing exists to follow my selfish desires, and this unrealistic fantasy is also my selfish desire. I imagine myself living like a poet romantically, hopelessly, rebelliously, recklessly, indifferent, hopelessly, rebelliously, recklessly, indifferent to fame. You should imagine yourself living purely, happily, like a true poet. Blessed me, my beating heart does the drum, the fervent words of visceral realism within my chest they thump. Grew wildly, cast aside the damn pursuit of fame, and live recklessly. And write. It's been an honor to know you, Recoleta. A familiar setting, but the positions have shifted. Recoleta leans back in the editor's chair while Hunting sits upright on the other side of the desk. Is this metaphor for seeing things from a different perspective or empathy? No, I just sat for too long and my back hurts. A moment of humor brings a smile to both their faces, melting the slightly icy moment between them.
I realize now that I never really understood you, Miss Hunting. Nor did I really try to.
Me too. I never really tried to understand what you truly thought, so we are even. But if you listen, I'll tell you a story. A story about a young woman born during the literary explosion era. A faint tremor flickers in Hunting's eyes. Recoleta can sense the subtle change in her. After graduating from the University of La Plata's literature department, the young woman declined her professor's invitation to pursue further studies and chose to enter the publishing industry instead. In her handwritten letter, Professor Carlos, I want to be the Maxwell Perkins of Latin America.
Why would she want to be an editor when everyone else at that time was striving to be a writer?
This world has never been short on writers and poets, but these geniuses need someone to pass on their inspiration.
But she did become a great editor, didn't she? Because she's you.
No, she didn't become a great editor. She became a shrewd merchant. You know, I've always worried that I would distort your work. Maybe the first version was already the best. Who could really say? This is the eternal dilemma and ultimate passion of an editor. It haunts me at night. In those moments, I feel like I'm the prey. Don't get me wrong, I still think it's great when the books I edit are adapted into films, but I can't forget what they began as: literature. Literature is eternal. It's irreplaceable. Words rush into Recoleta's mind. Discussions about revisions, debates about literature, insights into life. They wash over her like a rushing river.
I have an idea. A good one, I promise.
Let's hear it then. Even though I've given up on publishing my novel, I promise you I will finish it.
Would you help me finish my novel? Not as an editor, but as a friend? Recoleta knows this might be a meaningless act. Of course, it's a deal. It would be my honor, Recoleta. Let's complete this work together. Yes, as friends, as literary companions, as people following their own desires. Hunting knows this choice comes from an unnamed courage, and she chooses to believe in literature, in faith, in acts that seem meaningless. Just like Recoleta.
Oh my god, the stage 12. Oh, I need to remember everything before I actually start this. Okay. Close my eyes. I'm ready. Brother, what do... What? What? Oh my god, so fast. Brother, I didn't see anything. Oh my god. What is that? What's that? This boss looks so different. Oh, I'm doomed. I am doomed, brother. Was it this one or this one? Oh no. I forgot which one I flipped first. Damn it. Okay, unveil 2 random pages. What? Ah. Please. What? What? Oh my god. Oh no, I think I did that right, the thingy. Damn it, it's not. I don't remember where that thingy is. The tiny thingy. Oh. How about you? Oh. Take 2 damage. Oh my god. Okay. I saw that. Deal 1 damage. Triggers 2 times. Okay, I think this one? Yes. Oh, thank god. Okay. Ruinas, Gloriosas. On that pitch black night, the collector sees no one. Yeah, it's the thing on the I2. That's why it looks so familiar. Why am I back in the desert? Where did hunting go?
You've drunk the poisoned wine, Recoleta. A treacherous scheme of the cave dwellers.
It's the venom of the Ouroboros fangs, severing the cause and effect, leading us to the Ruinas Gloriosas. In her mind, her own voice echoes. They tried to stop us, but fortunately, they didn't know that we are the one. But fortunately, they didn't know that we are one and the same. I left Directrices the Metáforas in your notebook. It will lead you to the final ending.
But why? Why did you sacrifice yourself? Haven't you longed to see the victory of our great movement?
You took the poison from me? But why? No more questions. It was a necessary sacrifice.
I did it for us. Now go. Save our comrades and see this journey through to the very end.
I understand now. Comrade you're talking about is hunting, isn't it? I need to find the Ruinas Gloriosas and I need to find the Ruinas Gloriosas and free her. Recoleta snaps back to reality, pushes herself to her feet and strides forward with determination.
A forgotten river runs, its course to all untold.
Cross the silent desert, follow the Gnostic River to its source.
At the source of the Gnostic River, in shrouded darkness laid, within that mirror, the cave dweller hides, his ancient face displayed.
I just need to follow this river, right? What a long night. Looks like I finally found the source of the Gnostic River. And now, there is no other path forward. Wait, did we? This looks like the Uluru games, but they're perfect already. Within that mirror, Recoleta gazes at the black surface of the water. She pinches her nose shut and leaps in. Recoleta feels herself flying downward through a cave, yet there is no sense of wetness or flowing water. This is actually kind of fun. She lands in a misty damp cavern.
Tread lightly. Do not disturb those shadowed tribal dwellers.
Their language is unyielding as stone, their gaze as deep as caverns. The cave dwellers, are they those figures wandering around? Can they really see me? Their eyes look completely vacant. Maybe I don't need to fight at all. Grant me immortality. Grant me glory.
Stay away from me!
Recoleta takes off running, ignoring everything as she sprints forward. After passing through countless identical caves, Recoleta finally stops to listen. No footsteps, only the sound of an instinct. No footsteps, only the sound of an instinct. No footsteps, only the sound of an instinct. No footsteps, only the sound of an inexplicable underground wind. Inexplicable. Finally lost them. That wasn't so bad.
The 9th and 10th time darkness falls, Las Ruinas Gloriosas shall appear to mark the journey's end.
Let's see, the next line says, the 9th and 10th time the darkness falls, Las Ruinas Gloriosas shall appear to mark the journey's end in ruin, glory, and radiance. Clear. So, am I supposed to sleep down here for over a week to unlock the next puzzle? Wait, I see, this is a puzzle too. This place is still lit, so to make darkness fall, I need to extinguish all these braziers. The flames instantly go out, as if responding directly to Recoleta's thoughts. Alright, one more. On to the next cave. If my count is right, this should be the 10th cave. There is no path ahead, only a thick grey mist. To mark the journey's end, so that mist must be it. I see. I need to complete the 9th and 10th time to reach the 10th night. But the 9th and 10th, what does that even mean? What if I extinguish the last fire in this 10th cave? Recoleta sits cross-legged, staring at the final brazier. After a long pause, she suddenly laughs, then picks up the brazier with both hands.
It must be this brazier. It marks the boundary between the 9th cave and the 10th.
I'm so sorry about how I pronounce brazier. Oh, these metaphors and symbols really are hard to understand. I think I finally get why people struggle with my novels.
It must be this brazier. It marks...
Brazier, okay. With all her strength, she hurls the flames into the mist.
Go! Bring forth the light!
Child, why must you seek the secret of the ageless? Executioner, your cruelty has broken my heart. How amusing. I never thought you'd make it here. Countless voices echo in the ruins, mocking her powerlessness, and 4 voices rise in unison, forming a harmony.
Step aside. I must rescue my comrade.
Recollector faces the phantom symbols like a knight, her pen wielded like a sword. That is so cool. Clearly, this battle isn't about strength. You are not the minotaur guarding the labyrinth. You are mere obstacles, symbols created to hinder me.
Las Ruinas Gloriosas.
The answer is
in the name, right?
I'm so sorry. Let me repeat that.
Hang on.
Recollector slashes over and over again through the chains, but her efforts are in vain. Exhausted, she collapses to the ground. A flickering shadow catches the corner of her eye, as hunting, off in the distance. What is she doing? Hunting has abandoned words. She raises both hands over her head, outlining a rectangle. A rectangle? What's that supposed to mean? Hunting makes a motion as if embracing something, raising the shape of the rectangle repeatedly in the air. A pillar? Wait, pillar from before.
It's the pillar del Templo de la Metáfora. The MacGuffin.
In group stories, it is almost always the necklace. In spy stories, those quoted words strike like a letter like lightning. Those quoted words strike like a letter like lightning in a spring storm. Yes, necklace, chain, just like the Tempo de la Metáfora. These chains are meaningless. I need to move past them and face the core of Ruinas Gloriosas head on. Countless chains bind and drag Recoleta to the ground under their weight. She covers her ears, struggling as she steps into the forced symbols. East, west, south, north. Recoleta swings her sword in all 4 directions. With each strike, she bears the weight of 1,000 chains. The twisted laughter fades, exhaustion and relief wash over her, and she collapses to the ground. Her eyelids feel unbearably heavy. Hunting's voice grows distant. The cowboy gazes out the window at the prairie, the fresh green of spring filling her with an almost dreamlike sense of renewal. My head hurts a little. Maybe I slept too long.
Those adventures seem hazy now.
It is alright. We've already written our adventures into a novel. We escaped the Templo de la Metáfora, wandered for ages in the symbolic Ruinas Gloriosas. The cowboy feels as if she is in a dream, but she knows the coachman is right. Those images slowly resurface in her mind. Alright, and my novel, is it finished? Have you forgotten? You wrote an eternal masterpiece and even won a significant literary award.
Where are we going?
You're heading home. Back to Buenos Aires. Back to the HA publishing house for a grand award ceremony. And then our story will come to an end. The cowboy chuckles softly. She waves at the tall figure before her. As the carriage jostles forward, he throws open the door and leaps into the golden light of the sun. Oh, they didn't draw hunting. It's such a pretty image. Oh, there is hunting. It's over there. It's like, yep. Here.
Goodbye, Miss Hunting. Publishing novels, receiving awards, none of that matters to me anymore. There's a whole beautiful world before me. Shouldn't I live like a poet and go out and experience its wonders under the glorious radiance of Apollo? Shouldn't I run free, feeling the grass and earth between my toes? After all, the story is far from over.
Behind her, the coachman, Hunting, watches, relief and longing coloring her face. You know who would be a good friend for you? Margaret! She's gonna read everything, you know, even the shitty ones. She waves at the soaring figure of freedom. You're as careless as ever, Recoleta. You forgot that in the story, you're supposed to call me coachman. But none of that matters now. Go, Recoleta. Like an invisible warrior, like a falcon soaring free, like a fearless Gothic knight. Go forth and conquer the boundless pampas plain. Good luck, a rebellious nameless rider who scorns fame and disregards all else.
Blessed me, my beating heart does drum. The fervent words of visceral realism, within my chest they thump. Come on home, spirits of the past.
The seasons cycle once more, and a new winter arrives. Hunting sits at her desk, warming her hands with a cup of coffee as she flips through a manuscript. You need to dissect the salesman's psychology more deeply. Everything else is fine. If we are lucky, it might be published before spring.
Huh?
In the past, you would have said no one cares about a retired salesman's story. True, but things have changed. Just like Gregor Samsa in the Metamorphoses, you just need to write as well as Kafka told me.
May I ask?
What made you leave such a high-paying job at? What made you leave? Oh, it's you! This book is dedicated to Maria Hunting, an editor, a teacher, a friend, and a brave and honest person. Miss Hunting, are you alright? She put the dedication in the preface. Looks like she still remembers my advice. Oh, why did it flicker? My whole screen just flickers. Dedicated to the writers. Oh my god, please no. Oh no. I didn't even get to read it. I didn't click anything, brother. I kind of wish they stopped doing that though. I don't know why they did that. Okay, what is infinite symbolism? In this mode, Recoleta receives random arcane skill, while the literally demon gains 2 random skill effects. If flip each round does not face back down its lock for 2 rounds locked, opponent cannot use this speech to pin its literary symbol. Okay. Machine Powers did an additional 1 damage, 3 damage dealt, and 1 additional flip patterns can trigger up to 3 times per round. Recoleta's perception ability was also impaired, only some of the pages are unveiled to her at the start. Okay. Wait. Click. Let's do the easy one first, I guess. Because it is revealed to us. Damn it. Damn it. Oh no, it's a butterfly. And the next flip. Adjacent pages. Uh-oh. Oh my god. Recover 1 HP. Oh. Hey, I need that thing. I don't know where that is. Oh no. Damn it. Well, at least he took 2 damage. I think it's this one, right? Yes. The guy is actually killing himself, brother. It's this one, right? Yes. Yeah, we finished everything. How long did it take? Oh my god, it's 2 hours. Almost 3. Oh my god. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next stream, which is Jealous. Hopefully it's today. Hopefully, right? I still need to do the open captions thing. So yeah, and then tomorrow is going to be IDV. Like I said, I need to grind the line events. There's a lot of events concurrently running. There's what's it called? I did see the stream. Are you guys excited for free run? Because I am. I'm not gonna pull for Promise Neverland anymore. We're gonna pull for free run instead. Okay, yeah, see you guys next stream. Bye.